What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, folks? Happy holidays. This is your man Cam. We got my man Clevon up in the Northwest. Hey, today, man, you see how thick my sweatshirt is
Oh, I
today.
see it. Wow.
It's in the 60s today. It's getting a little nippy around here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
might have to put a hat on or something, or actually get a hood, a sweatshirt with a hood. What you guys doing up there?
It's just real, brisk with the wind and a little bit of rain here and there, but that's not unusual for the 206, so we're good with it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little abnormal, man. So Uh, thank you, fan, for joining. This is your man Cam again. This is week 168 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. We got your man Clevon up in the Northwest, Mr. Sam Rossing. We're gonna ask him why he called himself here that in a minute, because his fantasy team ain't looking so hot right now. After two
Oh yeah, that's not
consecutive
why they
L's.
call me that. It's for a different reason.
Okay,
It's much more sports book oriented why they call me that. But we can get to
sports.
both topics. It's up to you.
I mean, hey, I don't want you to overstep your grounds right now, because how's Sammy Watkins looking right now?
Like Sammy Watkins.
Um, and then Deshaun Jackson. Did you see Turkey Day? Deshaun, I think we're in a week 11 right now, right? Turkey Day.
I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah, I mean he's still out here making plays. So, um, Kyle Pitts. I don't know if you saw that or not. I don't know, but
That
here's the
wasn't
key.
sensational. I mean, he's not going to make the Pro Bowl, so
What is this guy? Is this guy gonna make 850?
Ooh, wow, yeah, man, you slaughtered that one, man. Whatever that one was, man. Yeah.
And then I know you got something to say about this right here. I know you
Nope.
got some. Go.
Nope.
I know he got something to say. And look at him, man. It's tickling him pink right now. He just trying to hold tight. He just trying to hold tight. Like you ask your uncle for $3, and then you take the wrong the wrong bundle, and he's like, "Hold up, son. Hold up. That ain't it." He's trying to hold tight right
Got nothing to
now.
say. Nothing to say.
Nothing to say about Staley and Justin Jones and
Nope.
the that's funny. Oh, that's funny. But what about your boy Flores down in the 305? You know you got a lot to say. Look at you. You even brought out Jalen Waddle's colors today. You even brought
Oh,
out
did
the
I?
colors.
I didn't even notice, man. I just put on I just put on a
Uh,
lid, to do the show, man. Just be presentable. That's all I was
Once
trying to
again,
do.
just to be presentable. Okay. Once again, fans, is we're gonna give you an NFL recap of what happened in week 12. We're gonna talk about some things happened in week 13. We're gonna look at this past week in the NBA. Devin Booker, even without Devin Booker, the Suns were able to dispatch the Warriors surprisingly last night. We're gonna talk about what their ceiling is. We're gonna talk about. I got Cleveland. I got a question. I got to ask you.
Hmm.
Legitimate question.
Mhm.
What's the best team in the NBA in Los Angeles right now? What's the best team right now? And you got to answer
In
truthfully.
Los Angeles or in California?
In Los Angeles, I said. I didn't stutter. Los Angeles, that plays
Oh,
across
okay.
the street here in Staples Center. What's it? I
Sure.
want you to answer.
Sure.
We're gonna ask. Want to get your answer on that? Let you chew on that a little bit. But there's only one answer, and let's see how objective you are when it comes down to that.
Sure.
We're gonna talk about this week in history. We're gonna get to some fantasy football talk. The weeks are winding down. It's time for you to make that last kick. If you're not in that last kick already, it's pretty much over for most of you guys, right? When you say Clevon, if you're not in that last kick right now,
It's getting pretty
if
deep
you're
right
not in
now.
that, I
Yeah,
mean, it's
you
only a
should
couple
be
weeks
there,
left to
but if you're
play.
not and you kick real hard, I mean, ooh,
I mean, I don't know if it kicking
some
real hard is
teams.
gonna work. I've been kicking for weeks now. It ain't helped me. So this last kick ain't gonna do me no good. But for the rest of you guys, if you're not in, this is striking distance right here. So you got to do it. You got to do it. Cleveland, with the numbers today be December 1, 2021, and week 101, 168 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. When you think of the number one, who comes to your mind first and who wore their number the best?
Cam, the person that comes to mind first is without a doubt Warren Moon. 20,000 yards and Canadian and 30,000 yards in the NFL. I mean, a remarkable career.
And play
Just to
for your Huskies. In fact,
play for my Huskies, play for my Seahawks. So yeah,
when the Huskies were
so
reputable.
absolutely, won a Rose Bowl. Taking shots. Anyways, so I think that he wore. He's the first person that comes to mind. Person that wore best, Oscar Roberts.
Oscar Robertson. I got him. A person that comes to my mind, number one, is the original number one in my mind is Gus Williams. I just like the way Gus Williams was a kind of a floor general in the old school days. Before they were labeling people, specific players. Gus Williams was getting it done at the point guard position. So he's the one when he comes to my mind first, and then I can't argue the big O, the big O. Oscar Robertson and all that he did originally, killing everybody with the 15 footers and then contribute just all over the court. So you got number 68 in mind. Number 68, you got a few
68,
guys.
the first person that comes to mind has got to be Jaromir Jagr, Pittsburgh Penguin. Multiple Stanley Cups. Person
Yeah,
who wore best, though, would probably have to be L.C. Greenwood, a member of the Steel Curtain. I mean, let's not play around too much with that number.
yeah, the still cut Elsie Greenwood. Come on, the iconic Elsie Greenwood, if you will. Clevon, Mac Jones leads Patriots to another win. Hmm. Is he looking like he's looking like a replica of who everybody's screaming the greatest guy of all time, isn't he?
Oh, no, we won't call him a replica until he has 7 Super Bowls under his ring, Cam.
Oh no 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 no! See, this is where the
Excuse me,
common
under his
problem.
head, I should say, not
This is
7
under
Super
his
Bowl
helmet.
rings under
I
his
understand
hat.
what you're saying. I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying, but it's a common theory that is misunderstood and misconstrued because I've been telling you all this time. Tom Brady had the greatest coach of all time coaching alongside with him. Uh, the greatest coach of all time for 20 years, and that produced a lot of championships. So to call him
And
the
then he
greatest
went
of
to
all
a
time,
team without the greatest coach of all time and won a Super Bowl.
he took that philosophy and went right down here and implemented. I mean, he could be a good student if you in business for 20 years. You should be able to open your own. If you running a coffee company for 20 years, right? You the head man, the head barista. You should be able to go open up a coffee stand right down the street and do the same thing, right? Common sense would tell me, right? So come on, get out of here with that. The greatest coach of all time is duplicating the performance he had with who everybody wants to call the greatest quarterback of all time. Go figure. Go figure. Mac Jones is getting it done right now. Talk about getting it done. A couple guys who ain't getting it done. What's going on? Monday night was atrocious, man. I couldn't even watch the whole game. What's going on Monday night? I didn't have no Manning to entertain me during this carcass over here that was just getting picked on for 3 hours. Um, Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson. You told me a couple of weeks ago that Pete Carroll has a 2-year slide. You guys don't even plug in the seat warmer and for another year and a half till the end of this year and next year. You guys don't even plug in the machine. That's what you told me. Are you still with that idea? So is this by all means Russell's out of here? Because you're gonna have to make a choice: Russell Wilson or your coach, who had a lot of things fall in his lap seemingly. Mr. Pete Carroll. Who do you go with?
I think they're going to go with Pete. I still feel that way. I said all those things before, and I don't feel any differently after this last loss to the Washington football team. Um, Russ will leave before Pete leaves, in my opinion. Do I think that's the right thing to do? Well, obviously, I'm always taking the talent. So If there was a struggle, it should be the coach to
Oh,
go,
this
and
is the one
especially a
time you
coach in
this
his
is the one time
70s.
you disregard.
But
This is the one time you disregard a coach. This is the one time. The one time you
no, I'm always saying it's about the talent. You're the one that's all on the coach's sidelines,
but you make
pumping
it
him
seem
up
as if coaches don't
with your
matter.
whole 17-minute intro about how great Bill Belichick was. You just did it. I mean, come on now.
What did I say that was incorrect? What did I say? Do you want me to go back to when he was
I'm
a
just saying
special team coach?
you're saying that
When
I'm
he was a
pumping the
special
coaches
teams
up.
coach
I'm
with the
saying I'm
I
always
mean, do
about the
you want me to
talent.
go
That's
back
all I'm
to when
saying.
he was a special
Okay.
team coach for the New York Giants, and then became the defensive coordinator for the New
Hey,
York
look,
Giants?
man. What was the
I
question
mean, do
you
you want
asked
to go
me?
back to that?
Why are you deviating off the subject? The question
No,
was who's going to be there longer, and it's going to be Pete Carroll, in my opinion. Should that be the way it should go? I don't think so. I think you always take the talent over the coach, and that's what I'm trying to say. But I don't think that's what's going to happen here.
so what's an acceptable trade? You want to send him to Pittsburgh for what? You gonna get Big Ben out there and try to resurrect his career, just like you guys try to do
I, I, I think
with Franco
I was
Harris?
having this conversation with a friend of mine earlier. I think Pittsburgh or Miami is where he's going to end up.
Miami. What? So you and Steve Nelson worked this out. That's why you got your colors on. You
We
and
talked
Steve
about it a
Nelson were
little
talking
bit.
about
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
Miami. What you gonna give from Miami? You want Tua? You want a trade? You gonna trade
Hey
Tua
man,
for?
that's a little bit down the line. Right now, we're just trying to find a way to get a victory. 1 week at a
Okay.
time.
All right. Well, your boy, your adopted child, Ryan Tannehill. How's he doing in Tennessee right now?
I mean, they're struggling a little bit without
Without
King
the
Henry.
battering ram. Oh yeah,
Without
life.
King Henry behind him, they're struggling a
we-
little bit.
We've seen Ryan Tannehill
And
without
injuries
King Henry beforehand.
to the receiving core. So
I'm sorry,
and within injuries to the receiving core as well.
but we already have a history with Ryan Tannehill without Derrick Henry. We know what that movie looks like. We've seen it before. At least I have. But you want to jump on Ryan Tannehill and say he looked like the next coming because he had Derrick Henry playing behind him. Now what's up with him?
Like I said, he's trying to make the adjustments on the fly. It's not easy
It's
to
been 4
do,
weeks.
but
It's been 4 weeks.
he's
It's been 4 weeks.
it's a better offense for him. It's somewhat conducive to
It's been 4 weeks.
collaborative thought. So he's better off.
Yeah, yeah. You can't even say that with a straight face. Or you tried to. That was good. That was good pokering right there. Try to have a straight face all the way through that BS right there. That was good pokering right there. Clevon, it doesn't work. He's garbage. He was garbage without Derrick Henry, and he played. He looked seemingly productive with Derrick Henry for 3 years, and without Derrick Henry, we see who the real Ryan Tannehill is. We agree to that, sir.
No, I mean I think Brian still has a lot to go, a lot to show.
Oh, still he's 10 years in the league. He got a lot to go.
Yeah,
Are you serious? He
I
still
think he'll
has a
make the
lot.
playoffs. I mean, I think
He's
once again, even without Derrick Henry, they'll make the playoffs.
well. I mean, they were 9-2 with Derrick Henry. So
Well, hey
you
man, I mean, making the playoffs is you know, nothing to
yeah.
sneeze at, man.
Yeah, because you guys won't be seeing the playoffs, and you know what how special that place is, how special that opportunity is when you get that letter to say we're
I
moving
know.
on.
Careful now.
Um, Raiders beat the Cowboys on Turkey Day. Now we talked about Derek Carr and his production a second ago, but the Cowboys kind of let us down. What's your thoughts on the Cowboys team and should they be firing? Well, no, they're going to be without Mike McCarthy this year. They can't be firing anybody. They're going to be without Mike McCarthy this week due to the COVID protocol. But what happened to them on Turkey Day? Have we seen the best of Ezekiel Elliott? Or are his days numbered?
I don't know if we've seen the well. We've definitely seen the best of him. Will he still be a productive running back in the league at a high level, top five in the manner in which he was paid? Hard to say. Probably more like top 10. I don't think top 10 is insurmountable for him. We'll see if he can come back healthy. With regards to the Cowboys, I mean, they know they're playing with house money. They play in the NFC East, so although the lead is getting a little shorter, I don't think it's in jeopardy at any, by any means. So, they've always been kind of like, where will they be in the, pantheon of the NFC, if you will, knowing they won't get a 1 seed, so they don't get a bye. So they just want to be at home.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they started off, a couple teams this season started off like a house of fire, the Rams included, and just kind of really hit a wall or slow down. Um, but we'll see how they progress. I think they have a tough matchup coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Um, no, they play this Thursday. Who they play? The Saints. So they should get healed by playing the Saints tomorrow night. Because we're recording this on Wednesday. Let me see. Which is the toughest division in the league right now? The AFC Central, AFC West. What's the toughest division in the league you got?
Oh, it's still the NFC West. Okay.
NFC
Tough
West.
question. Yeah.
What do you mean? They're top heavy because a couple teams going into the season, I might agree with you, but looking at it now, I can't necessarily agree with that.
Well, I understand that because you've seen the Los Angeles Rams regress a little bit, and you've also seen the Seahawks not live up to expectation. Probably haven't
Okay.
been watching the way the 49ers have been playing.
Okay. So no, no,
They're
no, no,
kind of
no,
coming
no.
on, and so
Okay.
it's still a division that will get 3 teams into the playoffs most likely. Not necessarily depending on the Rams. All of a sudden, it's more depending on what the Rams do than what the 49ers do, which is interesting. But that other division that you mentioned, I mean, I just don't know. It's Baltimore and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh keeps
He
messing
said that other
around. I don't know if
division.
they're getting to
Wait,
the.
wait, 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 wait. Time out, folks. Time out, folks. He trying to slip one. He trying to slip one by us. He said that other division. What division would that be, sir? That other division I was
The other
referring to.
division that you mentioned, as far as what's the best division in the NFL, you mentioned another division, right?
That's the best you can give them is that other division.
The other division that you mentioned.
Like those guys over there. Is it? Hold on. So are you a millennial Seahawks fan? You a Seahawks fan from 2000? Because if you're a original Seattle Seahawks fan, you know they were in AFC West, right?
Yeah, no, I know they were in the AFC West, but no,
Do you remember that?
I'm
Do you
sorry. I thought you
remember
were
that?
talking about the AFC East. I thought you were talking about the Ravens and the Steelers and the Bengals.
I said the AFC West
Oh well, yeah, no.
and the
Oh no,
AFC
yeah,
East
yeah. Completely,
and the
totally
AFC
disregard
North.
that. Come on, man. That division is dysfunctional from top to bottom, man. You already know that.
It's dysfunctional
Dysfunctional in every way. Every team is dysfunctional.
with the AFC
The
with the
Chargers are
AFC
dysfunctional. The
with the
Chiefs are dysfunctional. The Raiders are dysfunctional. The Broncos, they're just like, you know, fooling you, man. Like they're not really very good, but you have to
every
be
team
like
is
on
six
your
and
game to
five.
beat it. And
Every team is
that's all that they are.
every team is 6-5. So that means every team is in the hunt.
Now there's
Every
7 to
team.
4 teams in that division, man. Come on.
No, the Chiefs are 7-4.
Okay.
That's one.
So
But the
everyone
rest
else is 6 and 5?
is 6-5. The
Okay.
Rams
Everyone
or
else is
excuse me.
one game behind them. Won games they shouldn't have won. Do things, every once in a while. It's a dysfunctional division. Why would I pick that division?
And so you got the AFC North, which you got on me because I didn't know. I couldn't tell you every player and their blood type of the Baltimore Ravens
Right.
at the beginning of the season.
Right.
So that's how now you're
And you
calling
still
them
can't. You still don't know a single
the
player on their team. That's cool.
Calais Campbell, who's injured right now.
Oh,
Marlon Humphreys, the quarterback. What are you
wow.
talking about?
Okay. You took that personal last time. Got some
man,
names just throw out at me. just in case. Why not
I
Humphreys?
mean, come on, and they're
Elias
still
Campbell, okay.
and they're still among the best. Just what I said then, they're
I know
going to
what
be
they
among the
do.
best.
That top defense, that Ravens defense, no matter who's in there,
Exactly.
plug and play.
Have them right there at the top of their division at 8-3. Exactly what I said. Oh no, they're not going to win. I think we're identifying who winners of the division right then. I think when we had that conversation. Oh, they're not going to do nothing. But yeah, you see them at the top of the division. So we'll get back to them. We'll get back to those Ravens. Has Bill Belichick taken TB12 success personally?
I think so.
Why would you? Why would you say that?
I think he was getting tired of all of the accolades going to the talent and not the the scheme. And
I don't.
when they got after that that really horrific start, and no one thought they were going to make the playoffs, including yourself. Although I do see from your your correspondence that you and Bill do have kind of a cool relationship, which he doesn't have with anybody, which is kind of weird. I mean, kind of says a lot about yourself. But
No, game recognized
he's
game.
definitely
That's what that
taking it
says. Game
personally
recognized game.
that he's definitely taking it personally that TB12 gets all the credit right now, and he wants some of his credit back for some of those Lombardi trophies. Right now, he feels he's not getting enough, and I think he's taking it personally.
Yeah, for
And then
guys
when
like
Buffalo
you.
got out for that mercurial start, and it looked like
Yeah,
the Dolphins
Fugazi.
were hey man, kind of hanging tough.
No, the Dolphins were never hanging tough. The Dolphins were never hanging tough. So,
they were 1-1 after the start of the season.
Why wouldn't he feel? Why wouldn't he take it personally when guys like you don't want to give him any credit for what he's accomplished?
I didn't say any credit like you're saying.
You don't want to give him enough.
Not the bulk of the credit. No, the bulk of the credit goes to the talent.
No. He was actually the GM. He picked the players.
The bulk of the talent goes to the person that goes out there and executes. The stuff you write up on, your paper and your chalkboards and your whatever.
Yeah. Your whiteboards. You got to write. Somebody's writing the names up there. Somebody writing the name is you're starting over the guy we just played $100 million.
No.
The first time it's ever been done.
Like, hey, man,
the first time it's ever been done in the season.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I need you guys to do this. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, everybody do your job.
And then he realizes that not just everybody can do it, and not everybody can do it at a high level for that long. So,
Yeah, but he's been doing it at a high level for a long time. I'm sorry.
I'm saying the GOAT's in his 40s. So
Tom. No. And see, this is the misunderstanding. I don't know what I have to educate for. I feel like I have to educate people who just run off with this, thinking as if Bill Belichick started coaching.
Talent wins championships.
Thinking that Bill Belichick started coaching in 2000.
No,
that's not when he started coaching. That's not when he started coaching.
Who's even insinuating that? No,
you are with your statements when you say.
No, I'm not.
Well, he did it with Tom Brady. This question insinuates that he started coaching in 2000. That he just fell into the Super Bowl. He put the machine together. He orchestrated the machine. What are you talking about? He created all that. Somebody had to sit Drew Bledsoe down. And he said, "Oh, okay, this kid, we had the right program for him. So he excelled within this program. Oh, he's ready to play. No, so we get him out here because Drew Bledsoe think he's Earl Campbell. And okay, now let's roll with this. Let's spoon fed the little fella. And the little fella start getting good at what the coach was giving him. And then he excelled.
The little fella. Wow.
This is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So
at this point, Cam, I swear to goodness, man, I would love nothing more than a Tampa Bay New England Super Bowl. Yeah, nothing more.
And that will say
and
what
you will just see what talent does. And all of your schemes, plots, and plans in the dungeon, drawing out plays and looking at film, if you don't have the personnel to do it, it doesn't work.
You keep want to throw this out there, but you don't want to give a coach any credit for this scheming and getting it done, motivating the team, keeping everybody's head
Winner
focused,
ran the triangle
ignoring the
offense for 40
noise and
years
getting
for
it done.
Magic Johnson, for Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen came along.
I'm sorry.
I said Tex Winter ran the triangle offense for decades before Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen came along. Was
You
never
know,
quite that successful, man. But when you
but
have talent to run it,
when
oh
you
man,
put when you
it
get
just looks incredible.
when you get a Phil, Coach Phil running the show,
No, man,
managing the
they're just
personalities,
running the triangle offense to
manage.
perfection the way it was
Oh,
intended when it was
oh,
designed.
the way when a
So there's
coach
talent
designed it,
to run your
so the way
plays, because when you
so
just have
that when
regular people doing it, it doesn't work. It's not that effective.
when the coach designed it, it was running that way, huh? They were running how it was meant to be run. Is that what you're saying?
No,
When the
what I'm
Bulls
saying is that
when the Bulls finally got a
Belichick
hold of it.
so far has not had the talent without Tom Brady to get to a Super Bowl. We'll see if this team can get there.
I mean, I'm just saying, Mac Jones, man.
I know you're
it's
saying Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. I know.
exactly. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're saying it over and
you
over
got
again.
me
So what?
rooting for the team that I've hated for 35 years.
I know.
I've hated these guys for 35 years, and
Mhm.
somehow you got me rooting for Bill Belichick and Mac Jones. Somehow you got me. Somehow I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. You got me banning any conversation for the team I rooted for 30 years and 35 years, and talking about Mac Jones and the team that I've hated for so long. Shame
Right.
on you for that. Shame on you for that. Will the Rams make the playoffs this season? I think the Rams will make the playoffs, man.
I think they have,
I think the Rams will make the
I
playoffs.
think they
Right
should make
now,
it. I
the
mean,
the Rams are
they have
seven
enough
and
wins.
four.
They shouldn't really be struggling to make the playoffs, but wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, man. Chemistry, man. Chemistry's been disrupted in major ways over there, and it's not working out so far.
They're no, they're the third team in the NFL right now in the NFC. Excuse me. There's Arizona,
Yeah, well, there's
there's Tampa
subtraction
Bay,
by addition, Cam. I mean, the
and Green
Von
Bay.
Miller, Odell Beckham thing has not worked out, and then you lose
I mean,
Robert
to say it's
Woods,
worked out, it's been
and then
three
then
weeks.
you're
Come
trying
on,
to
it's been 3 weeks.
reinvent the locker room on the fly. It's just not working in there.
Oh my, no, that's the Seattle
It's just not
Seahawks and
working.
you. That's the Seattle Seahawks and you wishing that they fail immediately. It's been 3 weeks. What do you mean to say that you didn't have them beating Green Bay? They weren't a favorite in that game. Green Bay is a top team in the NFL. Like they can't go in there trying to figure stuff out. So they lost to Green Bay. Big deal. Who they played before then? It was like
49ers
no.
got ran over.
Oh, the 49ers ran through them. Woo. That was, but they're 7-4 right now. They have the third
At
or
least
fourth
one more
best
game
record.
to be 7-5, right?
Man, will they make the playoffs? I think they would. The three teams won't make it from that division. The Niners aren't making the playoffs. The Niners are finally looking like we expected them to look, but they're not going to eke out and make the playoffs.
Okay.
So that leaves Arizona and potentially the Rams. Um, and then we know Sierra got the bags packed up there, so they're gonna be they're gonna be moving out by New Year's probably, or excuse me, the season. The extra week in the season it'll be the second weekend in January where that their house will be empty by then. They're probably emptying out right now. I mean, I don't know. They probably have had the final Thanksgiving. I think she did. She did post a picture on IG their final Thanksgiving in the Northwest last week. So I like that page. But yeah, they're probably packing that up. So you go ahead and check it out on IG. So Sierra's IG. Um, but yeah, so we know what's happening with those that they're not in the playoff contention. So who else is in the playoff contention? Who's going to keep them out of the playoffs? Minnesota. I mean,
Minnesota, quite possibly.
Minnesota. I know you're not talking about Wash. Well, somebody got to win the NFC East, right? Somebody got to win that.
Someone
And
else to win that.
Dallas is in a good position to win it. But Arizona and the Rams are obviously the most formidable in their division. We got Green Bay. Minnesota's not going to challenge them. Um, you got Tampa Bay, and then you got Atlanta, New Orleans, and Carolina. I mean, they're going to make it by default. essentially, because I just named you some scrub teams right there. They're going to make it in there by default. So will it make it in? Will it make any noise in the playoffs? It depends on what team they play because that'll be the matchups. Matchups matter.
True.
So we'll see. We'll see what things happen, man. But let's look at our picks for this past week. We both had the Dolphins winning that game. Both had Chicago. We both had Dallas winning, and the Raiders and Deshaun Jackson showed that there's still life in those Raider bones wherever they live. So we lost on that one. We both had Bills over the Saints, Cincinnati over who did they play? The Steelers, and you had Indy over Tampa Bay, and they played tough. They played a
Mm.
tough game.
That was a tough one, man.
They played a tough game, but
Tough one.
ultimately Tampa Bay pulled that one out. Um, we both had New England over the Titans. We both had Philly over the Giants, and the Giants won that game. Showed up in Philly. They're just I don't know. Some games they look like a real football team. Other games they look like JV football. Like I don't get it. You had Atlanta over Jacksonville. I had Jacksonville over Atlanta. So you won on here's your run starts. You had Jets over Houston. I had Houston. You had Denver over the over the Chargers, and I had the Chargers. So good, some decent picks by you. We both had Green Bay. Um, you had Minnesota over the Niners. Did Minnesota win that game?
They did
I thought
not.
yeah. So I giving you an extra point. Let me go ahead and correct this. I thought the Niners got that, but here I am giving you an extra point. Um, you should have got that main file too, by the way. Just on another note. So that corrects it there. The numbers look much more respectable here. Um, so yeah, the Packers. We both had the Packers over the Rams. I had San Francisco over Minnesota. We both had Baltimore and Washington to win their games too. Um, Picks against the spread. Miami. I had Miami, Jacksonville, and the Chargers, and only one of those was correct.
Right. What I have.
And you have Minnesota +3, Denver +3, and Indy +3.
Hmm.
And so two of those are correct. So there's two categories that you won in this week. So um, as for the season, the picks against the spread, man, I'm 40% on the season. Clevon is 70%, and that's the fans. I'm appalled by that
Hence,
number.
hence the young Sam Rothstein moniker. It's kind of what I do to fans.
Wow!
Kind of
Listen
what
to
I do.
him. Listen to him now. The picks overall, I'm 64%. Cleveland is up at 67%.
Okay.
Just a couple picks ahead of me.
You're there. I know it.
So again, this
Must be
last
frustrating.
listen to him, fans. Listen to him. So that's what I'm saying. This last kick here is serious because when I put on my last stretch right here, I don't know if Cleveland's going to be ready for it. Nonetheless, our confidence pick for the week is I had Chicago for 1, Baltimore for 2, Buffalo for 3, the Chargers at 4, and the Patriots at 5.
Okay.
So that was a total of 11 points.
You got 11 points out of that?
Cleveland had Baltimore for 1, Buffalo for 2, Dallas for 3, Atlanta for 4, and New England for 5.
So for like 16 points.
And no, like 12 points. It's only for 12, so you beat me by a point.
I don't think you did your points correctly, but that's all right, man.
We mean what?
Yeah, at 3 and a 4 lose, right?
No, I only had a 4 lose. That was 11 points. You had a 3 lose for your 12 points. That was it. For the season, our confidence picks, I'm winning the confidence pick category 78.9 to 74.4. So
A little work to do there. Okay.
that kick is serious right now, folks. I'm telling
I
you.
need that triple crown, fans. It's a whole other thing. It's a whole other level of prize money with that triple crown. So
Yeah, I doubt you get it for just for that reason right there. That's yeah, that's why you get it. Um, so let's take a break here. When we come back, man, we're gonna talk about some NBA topics. Clevon, we're gonna just speed this one up. But we got LeBron on the COVID protocol. I want to hear what you have to say. Do you think we should be changing the rules now so LeBron can get on the court? I want to hear what you got to say about that. And then Clevon, I'm gonna ask you, who is the best team in LA in the NBA right now? And we're gonna see how objective you can be. Let's take a little break right here.
all right, take that 45.
All right. Cleveland,
Yes, sir.
do you think we need to change the rules since LeBron is on COVID protocol?
No, there's no changing the rules for COVID-19 protocol.
Wow, even against your guy, your man,
No,
your Messiah, your
no one person is above that.
hmm, we're testing them, folks. We're testing them, folks. And he said that without equivocation right there, with extreme confidence. You sure you don't think we should give LeBron a pass?
No.
Me neither. Um, Zion is cleared to practice. What do you expect from Zion? He said he might see game action by New Year's.
Expect him to be fat and tired.
You don't think he's gonna come out ready to go?
No.
Clay Thompson working out with the team already. We saw with the Golden State. It looked like they could have used him last night. Although they're going to be in the top 3 teams in the NBA, you think Clay Thompson can jump on the treadmill and keep up?
By May or June.
He'll be ready by May or June.
Yeah, I'd be like 100% by then.
Okay. Who will have the biggest impact on in their return to the NBA? Zion or Clay Thompson?
Clay Thompson.
Are you that down on Zion?
Yeah.
So this is some bias in here speaking right now.
Well, I mean, it was always a mistake for Adam Silver to let him go there. He knew what was going to happen to him in New Orleans. He was going to eat too good. He's too young. He got too much money. He always was going to have a weight problem, anyways. And he's a freakish athlete. So why put him in that situation? He wanted to be in New York.
You don't think there's good food in New York?
It's not New Orleans good. No, I mean, yeah, no, he's licking his fingers down there. Hence the weight gain. What are you talking about?
Okay, well that'll be interesting.
You eat a little different down there. You know that, right? You eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and dinner down there. You know that, right?
I've never been to New Orleans, man,
Okay,
and
well, okay.
I've never been to
Just saying.
the Big Easy.
Okay.
Um, but it's surprising to think that Klay Thompson will have the biggest impact over Zion Williams, who's going to then, as soon as you start playing, the Pelicans are going to be on TNT or ESPN twice a week.
Don't matter.
Huh?
Don't matter.
Okay. So the Phoenix Suns, led by Chris Paul, won their 17th in a row over the Warriors last night. Do you think your Suns can make it to the finals once again?
No. Well, I mean, I can't say that for sure. We don't know how the health of the other teams are going to shake out. But I mean, if the other teams have their healthy superstar, I don't think so.
What's your ceiling for the Phoenix Suns?
What's that?
What's your ceiling for the Phoenix Suns?
Western Conference Finals.
Oh, so you believe they can get to the Western Conference Finals?
Oh, potentially they can get there for sure. Yeah.
You just don't think they can win in the Western Conference. Who beats them? If they were right now to meet Golden State, who they
We'll
just
have to
beat.
see how it gets seeded. We'll have to see, again, the health of these other teams to really determine that.
Like not Denver Nuggets.
No, the Denver Nuggets probably can't get healthy enough to contend with them right now.
All right, Clevon. Big question of the day. Big question of the night. Who is the best team in Los Angeles? The Clippers or the Lakers?
The Los Angeles Lakers are the best team in Los Angeles.
They have double-digit losses. The Clippers do not.
Sure. They've had some injury and chemistry concerns. They've been, kind of working through. But, yeah, those other guys, no offense, Mr. Ballmer, those Los Angeles Clippers that you own, Paul George is your best player, and your second best player is
Reggie Jackson.
cool.
And you they have a better record than your Los Angeles Lakers right now. They're playing better. They're playing
Well, the second best player on the Los Angeles Lakers is Anthony Davis.
Are you sure about
the
that?
best player
Well, are you sure
on the
about
Los
that?
Angeles Lakers is the leading triple-double person in the history of the National Basketball Association. So when your second best player is Reggie Jackson, and how many MVPs does he have?
Shit, how many does Anthony
how many-
Davis have?
Oh, okay. So there are. Oh, so you are acknowledging that there are some MVPs on this other squad.
No, I'm saying
From the second and third player. How
you're
many
asking,
All NBA first team appearances has Reggie Jackson made? Has Reggie Jackson ever made an All NBA team of any sort? In
well,
any,
no,
in
he
any
hasn't
category?
been. He hasn't been. He's been called on to do something new by Ty
Okay.
Lue.
So
He hasn't been caught on to be that type of
you're
sport.
answering my question for me. Your second best player has not been on any list ever. Has never won an MVP. Has never scored more than 16 points a game. Okay. That's your second best player. So why are we having this conversation?
Well, we talk. I asked who is the best team. I didn't say who the best collection of players is. You just want to talk about the collection.
So yeah, again, Cam, you know how I do. I always go with the talent. So
here we go.
Yeah, they have more talent and they're a better team.
Is that talent paying off though? Is that talent?
Not right now, but they're still better than the Los Angeles Clippers.
What?
No offense, Mr. Ballmer, but yeah, they're still better than them.
Mr. Ballmer understand that you there's no objectivity here with you. He understands.
Okay, well, I mean, talk to me when Kawhi comes back to the lineup, man. I mean, the season's just started, Cam. I mean, you think Paul George is gonna play a full season carrying this team on his back by himself? And Reggie Jackson is your second best player?
He's enjoying it right now. He is enjoying it right now.
He sure is, because it's December the 1st.
By the way, you said the kid never averaged more than 16 points a game.
That one
He,
season. Give me that one season, Cam. Give it to me. Was that one season? Was it 18?
in 14-15 for the Detroit Pistons,
7 years ago. Let's put it in
he had
context for the fans.
seven,
Put it in
17,
context for the fans.
7,
7 years ago, he did what?
he averaged 17.6. The
Okay.
next year
So he
in
averaged
15
1.6 more
in,
points than I was talking about
in
7
15
years ago,
16
fans.
in
Okay.
15 16 he averaged 18 points,
Oh, and then
18.8.
the season after that, he averaged 2 more points than I'm talking about, fans.
And then
Okay.
last year
Keep going.
he averaged 17 points.
And then last year, he averaged 1 more point than I was talking about, fans. So he's good for about 16 to 18, I think is what Cam is trying to say.
Oh, is that 16 or is it now 16 to 18?
I mean, really, what is his career average?
For his career average is 12.
Oh.
His career average is 12. Yeah. So
Oh.
so you feel comfortable with that, huh? And what is his team doing over in Los Angeles, or this collection of talent? I mean, what's going on over there?
Struggling, man. They're struggling with chemistry. They're struggling with health. They're struggling with trying to find their roles, find their way. They're struggling with the coach, which is why Ty Lue is always checking in with Jeannie, seeing what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't actually know what you're saying. I haven't heard
So,
that.
they're struggling with a lot of things, Cam. But once they get healthy and figure it out, I can't say they'll be fine because I'm not 100% certain. They look a little old at times, faster, quicker teams, beat them to the punch, so to speak.
Like Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, the Clippers,
But once the Western Conference
Utah.
playoff starts, all that changes. You know that, right, Cam?
I mean, what? Oh, what changes? I mean, you got to get to the
All those
Western Conference.
dynamics change.
You got to get to the Western Conference
That's true,
championship.
and that's true. You have to run the gauntlet just to get there. It's
Yeah.
hard just to get there, and then once you get there, you got to recalibrate. And the Western Conference is rough, man. You know how it gets down.
Yeah, so that's interesting you would say that. And so, fans, we have our supremacy rankings here for your edification. We both agree on the Suns and the Warriors are 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that Clevon even gives the Suns that much respect for their beatdown of Steph Curry the other night. Held him to 6 points. No, excuse me, held him to 12 points, I believe. I have the Nets at number 3. He has a Jazz. He has a Jazz.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you see Kyrie Irving's COVID card or something?
No, I didn't. Why is you questioning that?
Yeah, number 3.
Yeah, they're number 3.
But please continue with your list.
Have you seen James Harden recently? Have you seen the James
Not
Harden
recently.
get to the
Is he
bucket?
out there? You still
Yeah.
complaining about the fouls and whatnot?
No, he's getting
The
it done. I think
exaggeration of your
he
body.
he had
Fouls.
30. He had 31 last night. Thank you
That's
very
cool.
much.
That's cool.
Yeah, along with
So,
KD
so
doing
him
his
and
thing as
KD can
usual.
carry it then.
Him and KD got this.
Him and carry
You
it.
have listen. You have him at number 4. I mean, we're talking about one spot. We're splitting hairs for your number 4. I don't even have the Jazz in my top 5. I have the Bulls and the Heat. I don't even know how the Jazz and you got the Nets so low and the Jazz above them. Come on, man. Who helped you with this?
Who helped you with your list? Did you not realize Bam Adebayo was about to miss 4 to 6 weeks? They ain't that good. They started off like gangbusters. They were hot. Kyle Lowry's getting tired. He's starting to kick it a little bit too much, man. It's November. He's had 2 whole months down being in the 305. He's been in Toronto, and that's cool. That's a cool environment, but it's not 80 degrees all the time.
So what'd you say? It's not gonna work out with Lowry? All of a sudden now all of a
I'm
sudden
just
Lowry's
saying
not gonna make it.
it was great when he was first there, but he's a little too acclimated into the culture, man. It's gonna take a couple months for him to step back for D Wade to kind of take him under his wing, like, hey man, go here, go there, go here, go there.
D Wade's in Utah, so that ain't happening.
Oh, he still looks out for his 305 cast, man. You know that.
Hmm.
And if Udonis has to do that, then I mean Udonis will do that too. It's fine.
So they let the man get too full of himself and get
Not
put
too
on.
full of himself. He's just in the 305.
All right, fans, let's take a little break here, man. When we come back, we're gonna have this week in history. We're gonna talk about some of this college football coach moving around. And they're gonna make our predictions for next week. So hold tight, Clevon. Let's take a little quick break, man. We'll come back. We got this week in history for you. I need to start editing these videos, putting up a real commercial. So it looks like we're good. We're good here on the battle. We're gonna make it through. All right, fans. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Clevon, when we come back, man, we like to talk about this week in history, kind of give the folks a little lesson of kind of some things that went on in America that they may or may not be familiar with. So, Clevon, did you know back in 1895, National Negro Medical Association was funded? Back in 1895 of November 26th. So, I mean, were they foreseeing like we needed our own medicine, like the National Negro Medical Association? Like it was either a school, I guess I probably should look into that. Either school or a business that was saying that they want to cater towards black folks with their medicine. In December 1, 1913, Cleveland, so over 100 years ago, Ford Motor Company institutes the world first moving assembly line for the Model T Ford, the famous one. So that was December 1st, over 100 years ago, 1913. Cleveland, December 1st, 1955. You may be familiar with the day that Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to move to the back of the bus and give up her seat in Montgomery, Alabama. So I guess there's really no Rosa Parks Day, is there? But December 1st is the day that actually happens. Um, and I'm just as I read that, I'm just thinking about there is no Rosa Parks Day, right? It's just we just know her for starting the civil rights movement, right? Getting it kicked off.
It's not a nationally recognized day. That's what you mean.
Is it a day that anybody recognizes?
I don't know what they do in Montgomery. I'm sure it has a lot more
Yeah,
precedence there than perhaps across the entire country. But
yeah.
certainly, I mean, I understand your point that there should be more recognition for this particular day and what it meant to African Americans.
Um, on this day, 1967, 12 years later, Seattle was awarded the American League franchise, which we know at the time was the Milwaukee Brewers. Did you ever see a baseball game at Six Stadium?
No, Ken, never saw.
So we lived right across the street from Six Stadium um, before it was inundated with Cambodians. We lived in those buildings, and we used to be able to watch the game from the front porch. I mean, it was a lot slower, obviously, because we're watching it from a distance. But yeah, we were able to see the game from the Six Stadium games, had the scoreboard and everything. So
Yeah, so you're right on the corner of McClellan and Rainier there.
McClellan and Martin Luther King way.
Martin Luther King, excuse
Well,
me.
back then it was Empire.
Back then it
If
was
you
Empire.
remember, if you remember that, back then it was Empire.
All right.
Uh, yeah. So we were right there in the corner. It's crazy. And you see, to see what's happening here recently is even, or I can't say recently, what's happened since the mid '80s. Um, it's kind of wild. In December 1st, 1964, the Houston's Colt 45s changed their name to the Astros. Do clearly you don't recall when they were the Colt 45s? Um, I think there's a minor team called the Colt 45s, but that's interesting that they changed that in 1964 though. Years before this PC stuff became correct, right? Clevon, man, there were some big shakeups, obviously, in the college football world. Riley takes over for USC. Kelly goes to LSU. Kelly out of
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, and Mel Tucker goes to Michigan State. Clevon, let me ask you, which one of those jobs is the best job?
SC.
Some people would say Kelly left for the better job.
Kelly was already at Notre Dame. You're splitting hairs over there. What Lincoln Riley can do for SC is far more monumental than what Brian Kelly can do for LSU, going to the SEC and playing all of these other schools that recruit way better than him and know how to recruit in the South way better than him. It's going to be a challenge.
Okay. It's going to be a challenge for Kelly, you talking about?
Yes, correct.
So you don't think he's going to get out of there in his 10 years without a championship?
No.
You vote against him.
He will not get a championship now.
Will Riley get a championship?
Quite possibly.
Will Riley's team play any defense to allow him to get that championship?
How much defense do you got to play when you can recruit, quarterback after quarterback after quarterback that goes to the NFL? He left two quarterbacks that are going to the NFL, and he's bringing another one that's in high school. That's kind of what he does.
You got him as a quarterback whisperer, huh?
A little bit. He's got he's got three starting quarterbacks in the pros right now, right?
Yeah, but they're they're being kind of questioned right
reluctantly, like not really. He's got three, and then he's got three more that he's about to send to the NFL to start.
Who you're talking about? Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, who both these guys get questioned whether about their toughness every single day. So, who's the third one?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess we'll see what happens at USC. I guess this will make it more interesting for them to cover, being that there's actual expectations there, and there haven't been expectations there for a little while.
Since Pete Carroll left.
Yeah, and that's been a little while. We'll see how they kind of get things done. Tomorrow night we got Javonte Davis in the house taking on Andre Cruz. It's on Showtime Sports pay-per-view. It's this weekend. Sunday. I know it's an odd date, but Sunday. Check it out for the 5-minute. Check it out for the intro. It starts at 5 p.m. We got Javonte Tank Davis taking on Isaac Cruz at the Staples Center Sunday, December 5th on Showtime pay-per-view. Make sure you check that out, Clevon. Who you got in that one?
Javonte Davis, King.
Yeah, it'll be Javonte Davis. We just had a little talk to him. I'll post those videos in a little while, but we did have some feedback for, we'll get a chance to hear Javonte talk about his focus and how he stays tuned and stay ready for the fight. So stay tuned, fans. Make sure you guys check back for that. Clevon, the way we predict these games this week is the Miami Dolphins is minus 4.5 points against the New York Giants. That'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But I'm taking Miami in that one. We both got Dallas over the Saints. We both had Tampa Bay over Falcons. And we both have Arizona over the Bears. I have the Chargers beating the Bengals. Why do you have the Bengals beating the Chargers, man?
Jeff Burrow and his
Oh,
symmetry,
all of a
his
sudden you like Joe Burrow
chemistry
now. All of a
with the
sudden you like
paper
Joe Burrow.
chase, and then the way Joe Mixon is running the ball, and the fact that Cincinnati is playing really ferocious defense, and the Los Angeles Chargers are traveling across the country to a much colder environment than they used to playing in.
Um, well, I don't know what the weather's going to be out there, but
It will be significantly colder than it is at SoFi. So, as you were just alluding to, oh my gosh, it's 60. I had to put on a sweatshirt. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna be a little colder
exactly,
than that in
exactly. Look at
Cincinnati.
this. Look at
Gonna,
that.
gonna
Look at
be a
this,
little
man.
colder than that in Cincinnati. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm just saying. Just saying. Leaving the the comfy, SoFi.
Yeah, we'll see how
Going
they
to the
do.
jungle out there. It's tough.
Those guys are going to have to step up. Those guys are going to have to step up. So this is 100% weather based.
It's not 100% weather based. I'm just saying, again, as I said, that Burrow Chase chemistry with a strong running game and a ferocious defense. I just don't think that the Los Angeles Chargers can travel across the country into inclement weather and win a game.
Have you seen? You charging me rent? Why is that? have you seen? Have you seen? Have you heard of a guy named Derwin James?
I sure have.
How about Joey Bosa?
Him too.
And don't you understand that they're going to be the ones coming after the quarterback on Sunday?
True, true.
Joe Burrow, kind of, and Jamal Chase. He's going to have somebody sticking him who's been educated by the great Brandon Staley. Have you heard of that guy?
Yeah, I mean, that all sounds well and good, but again, I believe what I believe, and my prediction is what it is based on the facts I've just given you. How the Chargers do last week.
I mean, they played a tough game. They played a tough game, and at the end of it, they weren't on top, but they played the best that they could. So,
It's a work in progress, Cam. I mean, it takes time. I mean, it's not, Rome's not built in a day.
Exactly. So we both had Minnesota over the Lions, Philly over the Eagle, or Philly over the Jets. Excuse me. The Colts over the Titans. We also have. So we agree on those games. I have the Raiders over the football team this week. Why are you taking the football team over the Raiders?
They're starting to see some momentum. They're starting to, see blood in the water. I mean, the Cowboys lose this game. I mean, picture that. They could go in like only one game behind those guys.
Do you have the Cowboys losing to the Saints?
It's not a slam dunk, man. Those guys have not looked good the last 2 weeks.
Okay. We both have the Rams beating Rams over the Jaguars. Excuse me. I have Baltimore beating Pittsburgh, and you got Big Roethlisberger giving it one more try, huh? Coming to life one more time.
I think he's got a few more, reminisce over you, my God, type moments, and then it's probably end. Either Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson will be there next year, so he knows his days are numbered. But we'll see what Najee Harris can do in the backfield. This weekend against those guys. Baltimore does not scare me with their offense. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean it's kind of scattered.
You call it the MVP.
Well, for my Waffle Cats, scattered, covered, smothered in chunks, man. It's kind of all over the place. It's not really like, really set in stone. So.
Okay, well, we both have. I got Baltimore to win that game. Just a reminder, we both have San Francisco to beat the Seahawks. We got the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. And look at you picking the Patriots over the Bills. Look at you. Why do you have to pick the Patriots over the Bills?
Don't like the way the Bills have been looking. Their offense is not, what I expected. But again, Cam, again now, and fans, let me preface this by saying I say this all the time. Cam does not listen. The season is broken up into 4 quarters. And in this quarter right now, those New England Patriots are dominating their quarter. This third quarter, they're really getting at it. Buffalo Bills have been extremely disappointing until they do something to show us that, they are who we anointed them as at the beginning of the season. Not convinced.
So at least you're giving Bill Belichick some credit for what's going on. At least you're doing that, and you're not ready to just throw everything he's accomplished by the wayside. I mean, at least that's a start. What do you think? Would you agree with that?
Oh no, he's the most accomplished head coach in the history of football. So take nothing away from that. I'm just saying that with those accomplishments, it's been some great talent to help him with that.
And the age-old question goes: which is it, the fish or the egg? I mean,
it's not age old. It's not age old. So you always want to make it like this. In basketball, when you make it like this, it's just I just beat you down like Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Arturo Gotti. You know what I'm saying? I just beat you down with that argument. In football, you have a little bit more of an argument. It's a little closer, but it's still, at the end of the day, the talent prevails. You just can't draw some stuff up and say, go do this with some guys. It has to be talent to do it. And
no, but
talent is more important than the scheme.
If you have these guys trusting and believing,
what?
If you have these guys trusting and believing that they can do something that it's
man,
it's
come on,
uncommon.
Man. That inspirational stuff lasts a little while, but it's not dominant. It's not dominant.
Okay.
It's overachieving at times, for sure, but yeah, no, it's not dominant.
Well, Clevon, why don't you talk to the people about kind of your fantasy football team and
my fantasy football team. I'll be very candid with the fans. Cam has taken some really weird, odd losses these last couple of weeks, and I find myself in a little bit of a spiral, a little bit of a tailspin. I'm no longer in first place. I think I'm around third or fourth, tied with a bunch of other bums. It's kind of weird. And then Cam, I think he went from 10th to 9th. Did you go from 10th to 9th this time? I think you're in 9th place, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm down there, man. I'm down there.
From 10th to 9th. So I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on, fans. But I mean, that's how fantasy football is. I feel that my team is still supremely talented, and at the end of the day, I'll get that seeding, and then I'll ultimately get that championship.
Yeah, man, I'm in a tough situation. Not even worth discussing in this league right here. Kudos to you and your season.
How about your other leagues? How you doing in them other leagugues, Cam? Let the fans know how you doing in them other leagues you're in and you participate in.
The CBS league, I'm second. CBS league,
I'm
number 2.
So you're second. Okay, good for you. And what about the other league?
I got another Yahoo league in there is looking pretty bad. I might make the playoffs. I'm a game or 2 out of the playoffs.
Okay. So you're kind of in contention in those other leagues, but for some reason it's one that we do for the fans. You just don't want to give it your all this year, or kind of half-assing it on the fans, not really, putting your full focus on what we're talking about, or because you got all these other side leagues, you don't really have to put your time into this league. Is that what you're kind of saying? Kind of come and go in this league as you please, because you run it. Is that kind of your whole mantra to what's going on here?
Man, you get off to a bad start, and somehow, man, a little damn
Oh man, start running down the track. Are we still talking about Aaron Jones, man?
We running down.
Are we still talking about Aaron Jones?
Man, I haven't been able to replace my running back.
You see, fans, you just can't shake
it. You get off to that shaky start, man. You get, like I say, you start running. You run the first 4 miles with that pebble in your shoe.
I think that's me picking at the scab a few too many times, and finally, now, when you pick that scab, you get that one part of the scab, like the other parts don't really hurt, but you get that one part. It's like, yeah, that's what fans like.
No, man, it's
I
for
think he had the
real.
scab too many times. Aaron Jones, yeah, he was not Derrick Henry productive for sure.
This, well, he probably got more yards than Aaron Jones or Derrick Jones,
Bet he still
Derrick
don't.
Henry.
Bet he still don't.
I bet he still does. I bet he
Right,
does.
bet.
But this week I'm going with Javonte Williams and
Okay.
Antonio Gibson. Like,
Okay.
well, I
Little
may
booby, huh?
take that back. I might need to put Pollard in the game.
Oh well. Hey man, there's still time. There's still
Yeah.
time to make
So,
adjustments
so
to your ninth
I got
place
some
team.
moves to I
Your
got some
ninth
moves
place
to
team can still maybe, get some things done here.
man. I got a couple weeks left, man. But
Okay.
and I pulled up this quote from Mike Dick of Clevon. This is for you, man. You're never a loser until you quit trying. So I'm gonna keep trying. I got a couple more weeks, man, to keep at it. And you don't know what happens. All I need is a ticket to get a seat to get on the bus. And
Right.
once I'm on that bus, man, the rest of you guys are in trouble, man. That's all that matters, man. And so that's what my focus is to keep trying, fans. And whatever you're doing, you're never a loser until you quit trying. That's when you become the loser, per Mike Ditka, the Hall of Fame Chicago Bear tight end. So we're going to keep at this, Clevon. We'll be back here next week. Clevon, let the people know where they can find you.
At Clevy Wonder on Twitter, Clevon Steele Instagram.
And you can find me at What's Good in Sport. What's Good, the letter N Sport singular on Twitter. What's Good in Sport or Voice Up Fans on Instagram. Voice Up Fans on Instagram. Hit us up. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know who is really the best basketball team in the NBA right now in Los Angeles. Because we see Cleveland came with no
Oh, the best
objectivity.
basketball team in Los Angeles fans. That's not a
So,
hard one.
so
So
we know Cleveland came with no
purple and
objectivity.
gold.
So go ahead
And
and
sometimes
let us
white
know
and
what you.
light blue on weekends, on Sundays, just
Oh,
depending.
come on, stop it, man. Come on, stop it. So fans, thank you guys for tuning in. Clevon, thank you for your participation. And fans, we'll talk to you next week, Clevon. We'll talk to you soon, Chief.
Right on, bro.
All right, later.